The Hermit's Path. Every life follows a path. Most people move through their days without thinking much about the small habits that guide them, the words they speak, the choices they repeat, the routines that quietly shape who they become. The Hermit's Path is a place to slow down and look at those small things. In this series, we explore simple ideas and practical steps that can help bring a little more awareness and intention into everyday life. Nothing complicated, just thoughtful ways to live a little more deliberately, one small step at a time. The quiet freedom of needing less. There comes a point in life where you stop asking, "What else can I get?" and start asking, "What can I finally live without?" Not because you've given up, not because you're miserable, not because you hate comfort or beauty or joy, but because you begin to realize how much of modern life is built around keeping people wanting more space, more subscriptions, more entertainment, more clothes, more upgrades, more deliveries, more distractions, more debt. And somewhere along the way, many of us stopped asking whether any of it was actually making our lives feel richer. I think there's a quiet kind of freedom that begins the moment you stop trying to build a life that looks impressive to other people. A lot of people hear words like simple living and immediately imagine deprivation. They imagine a life with less joy, less comfort, less beauty. But I don't think that's what intentional living actually is. I think intentional living is deciding what truly matters to you and letting the rest slowly fall away. That might mean cooking at home more often, repairing things instead of replacing them, learning how to grow something, owning fewer things but caring for them better, tracking your money honestly, avoiding debt whenever possible, stopping the endless cycle of emotional spending. Not because you're trying to punish yourself, but because peace becomes more valuable than consumption. There's a strange honesty that comes from looking around your home and realizing almost everything inside it serves a purpose. Not because your life looks like a minimalist magazine spread, but because you've become more conscious of what enters your world. I think a lot of people are exhausted financially because modern life encourages constant leakage. $5 here, $10 there, another subscription, another impulse purchase, another convenience, another temporary hit of comfort. And none of those things seem dangerous by themselves. But over time, they create a life where people feel trapped by their own consumption. The difficult truth is that freedom often looks boring from the outside. Freedom can look like staying home, cooking simple meals, saying no to things, using what you already have, wearing clothes until they wear out, learning skills instead of outsourcing everything, growing tomatoes instead of scrolling advertisements telling you what you still need to buy. A lot of people don't understand that kind of life because modern culture treats consumption like identity. People are encouraged to constantly reinvent themselves through purchases instead of through reflection. But I think there's something deeply grounding about building a life slowly and intentionally. Not a perfect life, not an aesthetic life, not a performative life, a real one. The kind where you know where your money is going, the kind where you learn to repair instead of replace, the kind where you stop buying things just because you're tired, lonely, bored, or overwhelmed. And maybe most importantly, the kind where you begin to realize that richness and wealth are not always the same thing. Some of the richest moments in life are incredibly ordinary. Fresh bread cooling on a counter, a quiet evening walk, a pantry you built slowly over time, rain hitting the roof while soup simmers on the stove, a garden in July overflowing with food you grew yourself, knowing how to survive without constantly depending on systems that drain you. That kind of life may never look glamorous online, but it feels steady. It feels rooted. It feels real. I think many people secretly crave that kind of life now. Not because they want to escape the world entirely, but because they're tired of feeling emotionally and financially consumed by it. And maybe that's the deeper lesson here. Sometimes living well has less to do with what you can afford to buy, and more to do with how little you actually need to feel whole. Walking the hermit's path doesn't require dramatic change. Most of the time, it begins with something small, a new habit, a different way of thinking, or a simple choice made with a little more awareness. If something in this episode resonated with you, consider giving the video a like and sharing it with someone who might also appreciate the idea. And if you'd like to continue exploring simple ways to live more intentionally, be sure to subscribe and join me again along the Hermit's path.